patient. Returning home to our nation. Chariot, cruise control. Look at the glow, amazing. Terrible, flame of fire. Here to devour, blazing. Swing low, please save me from all the ones that hate me. The Israelites stay patient. Returning home to our nation. End to end. Cut off the thief, I can't take it here. Forever dead and paying dividends. Reparations to Jerusalem for everything that they stole from there. And all the lies that they sold us here. Take me home, flying through the air. The speed of light is your first gift. The firmament about to crack it. Leviathan release the kraken. The angels here to get it cracking. I'm leaving it all, no packing. No Lot's wife, not looking backwards. Let my people go from their shackles. We beat the nations down to a fraction. And my God about action. Black.
My people going to war. We bringing out the fire. Those heathens we ignore. Cause we know that they're liars. I'm reading in the we reading in the they reading in the
Hey, shalom, brothers, shalom, sisters, most high in Christ bless. This is Captain Lemuel. Y'all are tuned in the scripts.
Reloaded.
We black and we late.
That we are.
Now, what I can say is it's no fault of anybody here.
Right.
We do appreciate you, Officer Lavi. We appreciate you. We pray you get better.
Yes,
but
sir.
we appreciate you for making us black and late. So, what's your name?
Officer Shema.
What's your name?
Officer Kashab.
What's your name?
Officer Kareem.
What's your name?
Officer Yakub.
Let's go. Let's get into the first article because we ain't got no time. We ain't got no time. I ain't gonna get through half of what I got.
AV about to be on point today.
I ain't even gonna rush it. I'ma just go through what I can go through, and it's really just gonna be these top two articles, and then everything else will just have to wait till next week. Go to that first article, the life cycles of empires, lessons for America today. So we are touching on what Christianity. Well, next week we're gonna touch on what Christianity is not preparing you for, what Christianity is not teaching you in 2022 about these last days. Matter of fact, let's deal with the last days. Hebrews chapter 1. I think we touched on this last week or the week before that. So let's go through it again. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2.
Yes, sir. The book of Hebrews, chapter 1 and verse 2, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son,
by Christ,
whom he hath appointed heir of all things,
whom he appointed heir, Lord, over all things. Go ahead.
by whom
From the beginning, but that's something else. Go ahead.
by whom also he made the worlds.
By whom also he made the worlds. The worlds. Anyway, Hebrews chapter 9, verse 26. We're dealing with the last days.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 9 and verse 26. For then must he often have suffered since the foundation of the world.
Meaning from the beginning, because he sinned. Go ahead.
But now once in the end of the world.
But now once in the end of the world, when Christ was crucified, go ahead.
Hath he appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself.
By the sacrifice of the offering of himself, as it was prophesied in Isaiah 53, that he would give his body as an offering for sin. So what did it say about Christ dying on the cross, resurrecting? That was the end of the world. That was the beginning of the end. The beginning of the end. So now when we look at America, as we talk about the beginning of the end, what captivity was Christ in? Roman captivity. This fourth beast that Daniel prophesied, I don't got time to go through all of it. That fourth beast that Daniel prophesied about in Daniel 2, Daniel 7, is Rome, that little horn, America, the extension of Rome. That fourth beast that is prophesied about in Daniel, America, which is an extension of Rome. An extension of Rome. The white man, Just to make it broad, make it general,
Make it plain.
make it plain. White folks, white people, the seed of Satan,
Caucasians.
Satan's children. Just to make it so that's clear across the board. All right. So now this is the life cycles of empires. Lessons for America today. This was posted July 6th, 2011. This was over 10 years ago. So a lot of what we're getting ready to read, you're going to be able to correlate to today, even though it's 10 plus years old. Scroll down. You're going to start right there, the German.
The German philosopher Hegel, 1770 to 1831, knew that just because men and women learned about the past, that didn't mean they'd make better decisions about the future. He once cynically commented, "What experience in history teach us is this, that people in governments never have learned anything from history or acted on principles deduced from it."
So they never learn. So these kingdoms, these nations, they don't learn from history.
Sheesh.
They don't learn from the past. They don't. Why? Because there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For years after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, America seemingly towered over the world as a great giant. Economically,
It says what? America.
seemingly towered over the world as a great giant.
America towered over the world as a great giant. Go ahead.
Economically, culturally, and militarily.
It says financially, culturally, that's economically, financially, culturally, and militarily. And militarily. Those are important. Read on.
But now, for nearly a decade since the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, its armed services have clashed with forces of Islamic extremism and terrorism in Afghanistan, Iraq, and elsewhere in the world.
And elsewhere in the world. Read on.
If that weren't bad enough, the worldwide economic crisis has laid the country low with high unemployment and immense federal government deficit.
Again, this is 10 plus years ago.
Right.
It's 2011. They're talking about high unemployment. You don't got to really, we don't have high unemployment right now because people working 2 and 3 jobs.
Right.
Go ahead.
Rising inflation
Rising inflation.
and depressed home value.
And guess what? Home values are plummeting as we speak.
Right.
Go ahead.
Other challenges loom ahead, flowing from the European Union's growing political and economic integration, Russia's increased
One world order. Russia's what?
Russia's increased strength and assertiveness, and China's rapid economic, industrial, and military growth.
And military growth. Military growth. Go read Will America.
Will America follow the path of past empires? Clearly.
Yes.
Clearly, America's present lone superpower status is being increasingly challenged. Could it be lost completely? While it clings to a general preeminence right now, could America still decline and fall?
Yes, it's already written.
Didn't that happen to other great empires in the past, such as those of Britain, Spain, Rome, Persia, Babylon, and Egypt? Is America's future more secure than theirs was?
Guess what?
Wow.
God compares in the scriptures, God compares America to all of those nations. Rome, Persia, Babylon, Egypt. They came out of Britain. They conquered Spain.
Sheesh.
Sir John Bagot.
You're going to stop at, read on. You're going to stop at fate.
Sir John Bagot Glubb, a highly honored British general and historian, better known as Glubb Pasha, wrote about the collapsed empires of the past. In his 1978 book, The Fate of Empires and the Search for Survival, he described a common pattern fitting the history of some fallen empires. They went through a cycle of stages as they started, expanded, matured, declined, and collapsed. Does the pattern apply to America today? Has the United States entered the cycle's ending stages?
Entered this cycle's.
This cycle's ending stages? If so, shouldn't America critically examine the current state of their culture to see what could be done to prevent the same grim fate?
There's nothing that they can do.
Nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do to prevent your grim fate.
That's
There's
right.
nothing you can do. It's already written from the beginning. From the beginning, and that came out. Deacon Malachi's class yesterday. I gotta
Yeah.
listen, man. That opened that class. That should have opened up. Well, overtime for a lot. Overtime, it's gonna open up your mind and open up your spirit to grace, to predestination. Romans 5 with mercy. I had to go back and read 2 Ezra 7. It opened up a lot. It opened up a lot. I will say. So all praise to the Most High. It was an excellent class by Deacon Malachi last night on a wicked friggin' Labor Day. For understanding to be able to come out like that, we give all praise to the Most High. Matter of fact, what time is it? I don't want to be pulling precepts all night. All right, go ahead. Scroll down.
Hey, Cat,
You gon-
we'll sit quiet, Cat, while you pull the precepts. We ain't got to pull no precepts with you, Cat.
All right, go to Isaiah 56. Oh, no. I think it's... see if I want that yet. Yeah, all right.
Say, officer, say, we'll sit quietly while you. Yeah. Hey, man, listen.
I gotta find it. I gotta find it. Give me a sec.
So we was talking
Somebody-
about
yeah, somebody- yeah.
we was talking about the article. It went to that Russia. Go back to where it says Russia assertiveness. Read that again for me,
Where we at?
officer.
Where we at?
Right there, and that said
Yeah, there it is.
if
I
that
see.
weren't enough.
It says Russia's increased strength and assertiveness.
So their assertiveness. Remember, this is back in what 2001. So Russia's being assertive now, moving, and they moving on Ukraine, taking over.
Right.
So this already been in a move,
Yeah.
right, in progress. So you can tell how all these countries always knew how they was going to move. The way China's moving now against Taiwan, and of course against how Russia's moving. Now you got Russia and North Korea making becoming allies,
Making
right?
deals.
Because the enemy of your enemy, we friends now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what's going on now. So
Sheesh.
a lot of this stuff, man, is now coming to the Most High, man, declared the end from the beginning.
Yeah. And people like this that be writing these articles, you know, they be sitting back like, it's so clear. Why can't they just see this? This happened in the past. It's gonna happen to us again. You need to do this, do that. Hey, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. He making these people do what he want them to do.
Can't stop their own destruction.
Right.
Remember Judas. Judas couldn't stop what he was doing. Christ was like, man, go and do what you said you know you're supposed to do. What it was already written what you were supposed to do. It's already written. Man, go on to the Lord. What you got, officer?
Hey, Officer Kashai said something heavy. Get while Cap looking for that Proverbs 21:1 real quick. Oh, you got what you ready for, Cap?
Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turned it whatsoever he will.
So they questioning why don't America, stop repeating the same mistakes that the previous kingdoms did. The reason that they doing the same thing is because this is the way that the Lord want everything to move. So the Lord moving their chess pieces around, telling them how to move. So.
That's it. All praise.
Oh, where'd you just read?
Proverbs 21.
The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
Read on. Okay. Go to because I was about to pull something, but go ahead because I'm gonna be
Back over here.
yeah. I want to at least get through this.
All right. Where we at?
Will America?
Scroll down some more.
No.
Wait, what?
It's right. Oh, we already read. Yeah.
We
7 steps.
All right, 7 steps in the life cycle of great powers. Glub Pasha learned that different empires had similar cultural changes while experiencing a life cycle in a series of stages that could overlap. He generalized about empires having 7 stages of development, identifying these successive ages as follows.
These successive ages or stages as follows.
Stage 1, the age of outbursts or pioneers. So European conquest, exploration, so on and so forth.
That's gonna be the first couple.
Number 2, the age of conquest. Number 3,
That's going all the way back 1492, the conquistadors, coming all the way up to 1619 and 1865, the inception of America. Go ahead.
Number 3, The age of commerce.
Industrial Revolution.
You said the inception,
Dang.
1776.
70, that's what I was looking
76,
for.
yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Number 4, the age of affluence. Number 5,
So that age of affluence is going up earlier when it said that they rule all. What did it say?
they,
Scroll back up.
yeah,
Can
they
y'all like
militarily,
control F and do militarily,
they, had,
culturally?
Economically, yeah.
If y'all can't find it,
they were a lone superpower militarily, economically, and culturally. That's what I said.
Hey, while they looking for that, the word influence.
Right, there we go. Right, scroll back up. For years after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, America seemingly towered over the world as a great giant, economically, culturally, and militarily.
militarily, because they would be as the dew of heaven all over all nations. Sorry. Culturally, because they were, even now, you got them two Iranians that's finna get put to death if they haven't already been put to death. Where you
Right.
think they got that homosexuality from?
Right.
So culturally, America influences Nigeria. Yeah, they not having no more white
No
white
more
models.
white models,
Hell
right.
nah.
Yeah.
Why? Because they were influenced culturally by America
Right.
All praises.
and economically. That's where you get your world. Oh man.
The world.
International Monetary Fund,
Right,
IMF,
Right.
the
The
World
banks,
the World Banks.
Bank, uh-huh.
Something else I'm thinking about.
the world religions.
No, not the religion. Yeah, the IMF, IMF and the World Bank.
World Bank,
It's something else I'm thinking about, but I
Hey,
can't remember.
Hey, Cap,
Scroll back down.
That cultural too also goes into religions. That's why you got Christianity everywhere in Africa.
Yep. That's why you got white Jesus all over the globe.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
In dark nations, you got a white savior.
Right. Right.
Go ahead.
Number 5, the age of intellect.
Intellect, technology.
6, the age of decadence.
Then you have the age of decadence, which is where we are right now.
Do as you. Yeah. Just have
Do what thou
fun.
wilt. YOLO.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Number 7, the age of decline and collapse.
Which is what we're coming into. Famine, wars, rumors of wars.
Right. Droughts.
Droughts, disease, pestilence, floods, earthquakes, all that stuff. Fire over half a state.
Right.
As
right.
big as Cali.
Right.
Damn near half a state
Just burning.
burning.
Uprisings and rebellion.
Uprisings and rebellions. Go ahead.
Each stage helps progression to the next as the values of the people change over time. Military, political, economic, and religious developments all influence an empire's people to act and believe differently over time.
Differently over time.
Dang.
Over time, as we're in the age of decadence and we move into the age of decline and collapse, you're gonna see changes in the military, politics, changes in the economic system, changes in religion. That's why we got the one world religion coming up now. You're gonna see all these things influence the people. Go ahead. Read. Okay, you said over time. Okay, rise. Hold up. Society, where you at? 7 steps. Okay, so scroll back up. Number 6, age of decadence. That's why you have now the rise of social media.
Yep.
Get Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 6. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 6. Show y'all what age we're in now.
The book of
age of decadence.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 6. Folly is set in great dignity.
Folly, foolishness, sin is set in what?
Great dignity.
Great dignity. That's why for a lot of y'all kids, all these social media stars who have no real talent,
Bring it out.
they're praised for being homos, they're praised for being transgender, they're praised for nothing. They be on YouTube and they just, I'm finna have a child in 2 months.
Right.
And they making $1 million. Look at me, I can spin a coin on my finger, whatever the hell they be doing. And they got $500,000.
Yeah.
Hold the mic up, say
My
that.
bad. They call it their dignity. Today they call them influencers.
Look at, and religious developments all influence an empire's people to act and believe differently over time.
Right.
Over time. Scroll down.
What kind of bomb was that?
Y'all read Ecclesiastes 10, right? We read that?
Yeah, 10 and 6.
Okay, 10 and 6. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't finish it.
Okay, read it again. Read from the
Folly
side.
is set in great dignity.
So guess what? Y'all's heroes. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Read it.
And the rich sit in low place.
All right, I already got ahead of myself. All right, scroll down. I already did, so it's all right. Let me find it in here because I didn't mark it. Glove partial learn. That's what we're looking for. Scroll down. I really wish y'all
Control
would
F.
just Control F
Control.
and type in glove partial learned.
There you go. Glub. GLU.
GLUBB.
Think I just.
Space PASHA. Space learned.
Type in that Asha.
Yeah, type in all Asha,
So,
space, learned.
so this in the script pictorial?
Yeah, we need
AV
some-
Yes.
pictorial, this is what we doing
Yes.
now?
Okay.
There
Now.
we go. I'll praise it.
Now.
Oh,
Scroll
praise God.
down to. Okay. Now scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down.
I'm taking a class,
little
man.
bit.
I'm going to be in
that
AV
one. That's
next
not
week.
the one.
Now you're going to see the next one highlighted, y'all.
There
So
you go.
just
Now
keep
y'all
scrolling
just
until
take
you
your
see the
time.
next
They
highlight.
take these.
Stop. I said take your time.
They
Take your
take
time,
these
take your
important
time.
classes
You gonna
on
So
be all right.
Israel,
School
y'all take
system.
notes on how to do this in AV. So next
Scroll
time,
back up.
you know.
Scroll back up.
That
Calm
brothers
down.
wanna
Take
be
your
in
time.
AV.
Take your
Brother
time.
went to a public school.
Stop
They-
right there.
they
Just
check it
stop
out.
right there. Just stop right there. All right. Now, where it says Rise of Empires.
The rise of empires. In the first two stages or ages, the warrior's adventurousome and manly values drive an empire to gain power as it conquers land from others.
Conquistadors. Scroll. Hold up. Don't move nothing. Don't move nothing yet. According to Glub.
According to Glub, they normally do this not from motives of conscience, but rather because of the weakening of a sense of duty in citizens and the increase in selfishness manifested in the desire for wealth and ease.
That's why you got all your online get rich quick schemes.
right.
I was caught up in that stuff. I'll be honest. I was caught up in that stuff. I wasted a lot of money. Make $1 million being a Facebook, doing Facebook advertising. You know how much money I blew through taking them courses and stuff. You got less than a handful of people that really make it doing that stuff.
Right.
And that's all they show you with the Ty Lopez's.
Right.
Hi,
There you
Ty.
go.
What he said?
Yeah,
thank you
Thank
for my
you, thank
Lambo
you,
Ty
Ty.
or whatever the hell they be talking about. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it says later on during the following ages of commerce and affluence, businessmen and merchants who normally value material success and dislike taking unnecessary risks take over at the highest levels of society. Their societies downplay the values of the soldiers. So it used to be all about war and all that. Now it's all
Right.
about business and how to make your money and
Glamour.
make $1,000 in an hour,
Right.
make $10,000 in 2 days. Now in the age of decadence, it's the age of the get rich quick scheme. Read on. Read on.
And you know what's heavy about that? Now, if you don't be successful in that, guess what? How you going to make your money now? Because you don't even have a work ethic now.
Right, exactly. Because that's why it says manifested in the desire for wealth and ease. So it's not they not looking for no 9 to 5.
Right.
They want to make $1,000 on the beach.
Right.
They want to go to. That's why on Instagram, all these influencers, where they be at? They be in these big ass mansions.
Right.
They be on the beach somewhere.
Standing next
Rented
to a fancy
mansions.
car. or
Exactly.
something.
Exactly.
Rented mansions, rented cars.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Last
Exactly.
week, that ease, wealth and ease, going in, when we thoughtism from last week, OnlyFans is only like that because these women are able to make $10,000, $20,000 in a day. They want the easy street.
Yes,
Exactly.
the easiest thing you could do is sell your body
Yeah.
for a woman. The easiest thing she could do.
Man.
Scroll down. Hold up. During these Middle Ages.
During these middle stages, empires stop taking more land and start building walls instead. They switch from the offensive to the defensive. Historical examples include the wall built near the Scottish border by the Roman Emperor Hadrian, the Great Wall of China constructed to keep out intrusion by certain nomadic groups, and even 20th century's France's Maginot Line, placed along the German border.
What wall or border they were they building
just built it.
a couple of years ago? They was trying to keep Mexicans out.
Right.
So what are they doing?
That
They was
wall.
building a wall.
Building a wall.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new.
Sowing the seeds of decline.
Sowing the seeds of decline. During the age,
Hold up.
so that they went from conquering
Arabia
to
doing the
trying
same
not to
thing.
be conquered.
That thing they call
Right,
the wall.
right,
That's
right.
it's a huge, but it's supposed to be an indoor living complex for everybody to keep them separated from everybody else. But it looks like just a big mirrored wall in the desert, but it's to keep their
I feel
people
like
in.
I've seen
And
it.
they always put that kind of stuff up in films and movies too. Like it was a movie I think called The 3% or whatever case is. But it was a sectioned off literal wall, and they had it for just like those people that were among the 3%, whether it was they knowledge, they skill, or whatever the case is. But I think the only caveat whenever you got in and you passed the test, they said, all right, you just can't have no kids. So you know they still somehow figured out a way to push that kind of sodomite undertone in there.
Right.
The hell is this?
Oh, they always gonna have that.
Read sowing the seeds of decline during.
Sowing the seeds of decline. During the age of intellect, schools may produce skeptical intellectuals who oppose the values of religious beliefs of their empires. Early leaders.
Hold up. Scholars.
Scholars also might manage schools that teach the ruling class and or some of the average people subjects that are either mainly oriented towards financial success or are simply impractical. For example, in the early Roman Republic, students received a basic education that stressed character development and virtue.
They used to have stuff like home ec.
Yeah.
You used to have stuff that where
Parenting,
you
all that.
Building trade.
yeah.
Sculpt, yep.
Right.
Right.
Now they got social media classes.
Right.
And
Video game. That's a
video
class.
game class.
Yeah,
That's a
Lord have
class?
mercy.
Video game. It's
Drag
a high school-
time.
It's a high school class.
What is it?
Drag time when the drag queens come in and
Oh
talk
yeah.
to the.
read to
Oh
your
damn!
kids.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
Read.
no,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna touch that wall.
Yeah.
Showing that Saudi Arabian wall. Go out of that and just pull at the bottom of the group real quick. Here it is right here.
Saudi
It's real?
Arabia. Saudi,
real.
Saudi Arabia's future smart city is one massive wall that'd be home to 9 million people.
One massive
down.
wall. Look, and it's a huge glassed wall that looks like a mirror, but inside of it is an entire city that'll hold 9 million people,
Damn.
complete with houses, shopping malls, schools, everything that you need in it, in a wall.
It's bulletproof, huh?
Crazy.
Hey, it better be because Edom, they drop
Yeah,
bombs
right.
and everything.
Yeah, but it's inside of a wall. This article is from July 27th of this year. So they've been talking about it real big. It's called The Line, is
Where's
what
it
they
at?
call it, in Saudi Arabia.
In Saudi Arabia.
Gotta invest in Windex.
I saw that oil money. I saw that Arab money.
That's the next
All right, who's
get
gonna
rich
clean
quicker.
it? Yeah.
That's the next get rich quicker right there. Windex.
Damn.
Damn.
Go back.
Boy, if you don't get off.
Hey, this dude here, bro.
All right, But in the later Roman Empire, teachers taught rhetoric, the art of speaking, when emotionally persuading assemblies was no longer of political or practical value.
Where you at? Let me see the growth. Read that where it says the growth of wealth.
The growth of wealth and comfort clearly can undermine the values of character, such as self-sacrifice.
The love of money. The love of money. The growth of wealth is the love of money and comfort. Clearly can undermine the values of character. Go ahead.
Such as self-sacrifice and discipline.
Going back to what Officer just brought up a little bit ago. Actual work ethic. Go ahead.
That led to a given empire's creation.
Physical labor is how America got to where they are now, the Industrial Revolution.
Right.
Physical labor, building these machines.
Right.
Then technology starts to increase. Now you got the internet where you can make $1 by selling tit pics and everything else.
Right.
Go ahead.
The hell is this?
Then the empire so affected by moral decline grows weaker and more vulnerable to destruction by forces arising inside
Inside
or outside of it.
and not or and
Yep.
outside.
Right.
It's my glasses.
There will be forces that will destroy America from the inside and the outside.
That's right.
That's right.
It's written. It's going to happen. It's not an if. It's a when.
Yo, they freely on YouTube just showing what they hey, we preparing this big old groups of Edomites showing you, hey, stuff go down. This is what we're going to be doing, so.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Read that next line.
Not surprisingly, God in the Bible specifically warned the ancient Israelites against departing from worshiping him once they became materially satisfied after entering the promised land. Deuteronomy 8:11 through 20. He understood this human tendency.
Right there. Because what do we we teach contentment with godliness. Godliness, but be content with what you have now. Matthew, Christ tells us that seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you. So you're not searching for money and all of these things. You're searching first for the things that will get you into the kingdom of heaven. And he said he'll add the rest of the stuff. So they know that the Israelites were warned. So when they hear us teaching that in the streets,
Right.
they like, yeah, these are the people.
And Esau technology is so crazy. People, like you're saying, they got the access to just look at all these famous, so-called famous people that they got famous off of nothing, doing nothing, just pushing a scheme. And after seeing that so long, you have brothers that went to college 8 years. They didn't spend $100,000 to get a degree, and now they chasing something that they could have done right out of middle school.
Right.
But they don't have no actual skills. Like, they can't do anything with their hands.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Hey, Cap, there was another point inside of this. I know we got 30
No,
minutes.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, go to where it says, what are some key signs of decline? Maybe go back up. Go. Keep going. Not. I'm looking for the big highlighted piece. Go. Come on. No.
Nah, it's further up.
It's further up.
Right there?
Control
No.
F.
Yes.
Control F. Key signs of decline.
No, all right. It's below. It's down.
Boy, they
Keep going. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those highlighted blue sections, like
It's
the big.
the subtitle.
Yeah, it's gonna be a subtitle. Keep going.
They are Control F a verse.
Yes.
They are running.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. Start at the top of that.
What are some key
Oh, stop. That was my last one.
Oh, okay. All right. All praise. All
Go
praise.
ahead. Go ahead.
What are some key signs of decline? What are some common features of an empire's culture in its declining period?
So now he's going to give some signs of an empire's decline, the age of decadence, going into the decline and destruction of that empire. Go ahead.
Glubb describes developments like these. 1. Rampant sexual immorality.
They I not see that with OnlyFans.
Right.
You can't pull up, you can't go to the search section of Instagram without seeing some stuff you ain't trying to see.
Man.
Right.
You can't download a game off the App Store, and the damn ad is some
Right,
nonsense.
right.
You can't even drive on the street because they got billboards that tell you to exit left to the nearest strip club.
Right.
Yep. Go ahead.
Rampant sexual immorality. An aversion to marriage in favor of living together, and
They out here just shacking up.
Sheesh.
Go ahead.
and an increased divorce rate, all combined to undermine family stability.
So once the family starts to become unstable, that's the beginning of the end. That is the decline, because you cannot continue generation after generation without what? Family.
right.
That's why we so big. Our organization is so big on marriage.
Right.
Exactly.
Because that's the stability of building a nation.
That's the start. That's us rebuilding a nation.
Right.
We start with the family.
Yeah.
That's why Christ said marriage is honorable in all,
Right.
and a bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge. Why? Because they are averse to the empire.
Right.
The building of the empire, the stability of the empire is the family.
Right.
Once you start to go away from that, you whoremongers and adulterers amongst us, God is going to judge y'all.
Right.
He got to judge y'all because y'all are averse to the empire.
Right.
Y'all are averse to the kingdom.
Hey, the proof that a family is a stability, no matter what congregation you go to, you always see pregnant women. Not just one or two, but multiple at a time.
Well, if we go back to the beginning, Genesis, right? The first city that was built by who? Cain. When he went eastward, he found a wife, he had kids, and he built a city. That is the foundation of a nation of people. Is you finding a wife and your family becoming your small kingdom within the kingdom. We all become a brick or a stone within.
Well, before that, there was cities and all that from the time of Adam.
Okay.
But I get your point.
Okay, all right.
He had yes, Adam and the whole, all of paradise, all of Eden was what's the word I'm looking for? Was inhabited or replenished from Adam and Eve. That's why the scripture says Eve was the mother of all living creatures. And there was cities, there was all of that in the kingdom. It wasn't like they wasn't running around naked. They wasn't nothing like that. There was kingdoms and all that. So remember what Christ said in Matthew 19 about from the beginning. We got to get it.
Yeah, 19 and 5. Yeah.
Is it 19 and 4?
Yes, 6. Yeah, 5. So start at 4. The book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 4. And he answered and said unto them.
No, I don't like that one. Get it says the same thing in Timothy's.
Oh, yeah.
It says the same thing
1
in
Timothy
Timothy's.
2?
Yeah. Y'all help me out. I'll find it. Somebody say something.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's my mistake. That's a misspeaking. But, yes, because he would have had to have learned to build cities from those from before him. So, yeah, absolutely.
I like what it says right here. It says the first century writer Seneca once complained about Roman upper class women. It says they divorce in order to remarry. They marry in order to divorce.
That's today.
You know.
Wait, what does it say? Where you at?
It's right there at the bottom.
Oh, okay, yeah. They divorce in order to remarry. They marry in order to divorce.
Right.
Just bass backwards.
Right.
And then our sisters, you know, so when they start talking that, oh, you don't need a man, or you can have 5 baby daddies and you can get child support from them. Right. Like, hey, that's not the spirit of the Most High Christ. You coming with that Edomite spirit on you.
Hey, you know another thing too. It says they marry in order to divorce. Those are the sisters that you see that marry to get the check at the end when they do the divorce.
Right.
The alimony.
alimony.
Right, alimony. Yep.
Alimony. Yep. I don't even remember what the hell the point was.
The point was they two become one flesh.
Yeah, but why was I pulling that?
The nucleus of the family, of the nation.
Yeah.
I don't know what the point was either.
Whatever. All right.
Okay.
The birth rate declines.
The birth rate declines. And abortion and infanticide. Infanticide.
Meaning the killing of an infant.
And infanticide both increase as family size is deliberately limited.
Through what? Abortion rights. That's the declining of an empire.
Yep.
Go ahead. Same thing happened in Rome. Go ahead.
The historian W.H. McNeill has referred to the biological suicide of the Roman upper classes as one reason for Rome's decline. Homosexuality becomes publicly acceptable and spreads, as was the case among the ancient Greeks before Rome conquered them.
So before the Romans conquered the Greeks, mass homosexuality. Before Rome fell, mass spreading and acceptableness or acceptability or whatever of homosexuality, which again is the decline of the family.
Hey, Cap. At the top it says family size is deliberately limited. When you go to some countries, they have a massive number of kids you can have, like 2 or 3. But here in the States, they just push everything against having kids.
Yep.
So same thing.
Yep.
Well, during the time, so when I was little, when the housing first was really beginning to build up, there's an old movie, if y'all go back and watch it, called, Shema, what is that movie? Where she had kids, but they wouldn't allow a man to be in the house. It was Diane Carroll, I think, was the...
I got it in my head, but I can't remember. I'm not good at movies, remembering them, but I know the name of them.
they did that no man in the house because they didn't want those women to have any more children. Plus, when you look further back in history in Carolina, there was an incident, a major scandal that happened where they were sterilizing black women unknowingly. They didn't realize that they were being sterilized. They were going in for regular treatments like pap smears and stuff, but the doctor was actually sterilizing them. And there's like thousands of them that it happened to. The story just came out recently. So they were actively trying to limit how many babies, you know, blacks were reproducing.
Was it Claudine?
Claudine, that's the
Claudine.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Right.
Plethora of knowledge.
Diane Curl, man, that was a
Talking about
beautiful,
that
beautiful
laptop he
lady.
got in front of him.
At my fingertips.
Yeah, right, at your fingertips.
All praise.
Scroll number 2.
Number 2.
Many.
Many foreign immigrants settle in the empire's capital and major cities. The mixture of ethnic.
The what?
Many foreign immigrants.
No, the mixture.
The mixture of ethnic groups in close proximity in these cosmopolitan places inevitably produces conflict.
Inevitably. Nah. Y'all already know what scripture we going to. Go to Daniel chapter 2.
Sheesh.
Daniel chapter 2, verse 40.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron.
Strong as iron, strong military.
For as much
The iron is the military.
For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things.
And subdueth, the all things is all nations. That's why we read earlier that they have, what does it say? They have preeminence militarily, economically, and culturally. Read.
And as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Shall it break in pieces and bruise and conquer all nations. Go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay.
So, of this body, because Nebuchadnezzar saw an image, gold head, I'm paraphrasing, gold head, which is Babylon. So he saw all the different kingdoms. The feet, the legs and the feet, we're getting ready to talk about. Read.
Part of potter's clay and part of iron.
No, read it from 41.
Whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron.
Part was clay, part was iron. Go ahead.
The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron.
The strength of the military. In America is the strength of the military.
For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
Mixed with miry clay. That miry clay is going into all nations here in America. America has the strongest military, or at least did. But guess what? Because of many foreign immigrants settling in the empire's capital and major city, inevitably it produces conflict. So it says, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, the great melting pot. Go ahead.
And as the toes of the feet
The toes of the feet,
were part of iron and
10
part of
toes, 10 kings, 10 common markets. Go ahead.
and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong
Because of their military
and partly broken.
and divided. Why? Because it's a great melting pot. The Lord never established from the foundation of the earth, he never established for it to be one great melting pot. The Lord flooded the earth because of the sins of the sons of God.
Right.
Because we were mingling and mixing and having kids with the other people, the other nations.
Right.
Go. What verse you at?
43.
Read 43.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with
Even
clay.
as iron don't mix with clay. So that's why this says, during the decline of an empire, there would be conflict amongst the people. There would be division amongst the people. There would be race wars amongst the people. Scroll down. I didn't have the rest of this.
This is a hell of an article, though, okay?
Right.
Yeah, and for it to be
What's that, 2000 and what?
2011.
Like number
11?
4?
Yeah.
Number 4 right there.
11
Verse
years
4.
old. Where we at? Where you at?
So you see
Number
number
4.
4.
Number 4, yeah. Number 4, read that.
Number 4, the government provides extensive welfare for the people.
Welfare for the people. Welfare, WIC.
Stimulus checks.
Stimulus checks.
Stimmies, PPP loans.
PPP loans.
And that's just
They printing money. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was, and that's just doubling down on the thing that they said earlier. People skip the let me have a job, let me be content with what I have. I'm just looking for something at ease. Then you hit them with a stimmy check or a stimmy, like they said, like for many of our jobs, it's a lack of workers. That's because they like, hey, I ain't going back to doing that.
Yep.
I was sitting on my ass for 2 months. I'm not going
Getting
back
free
to
money. What I gotta go back?
Right.
They printing it like so.
Right.
And then and so with you printing that money, there's extensive welfare for the people. Then you go into an economic recession, which we are in now. Inflation, which is what we're in now.
So the inflation really just to catch up on all the stimulus checks that was
Yep.
printed.
Right.
And what was that other, the PPP loan scam?
loans? Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, all them
that's-
PPP loan scams. Yep.
Brother,
That goes into the ease. They want wealth and ease.
Right.
Scroll down just for time's sake. Okay, so we already know America's on a downward cultural and spiritual spiral. We already know that. I don't think I had anything. I don't think I had no more on this. Okay, all right. You can drop that. All right, go to the next. I don't even know. Nah, don't even. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get through what we can get through on this.
Are we on the road to civilization collapse? Y'all gotta scroll down.
You gonna go down for just for time's sake. We're gonna come back to this next week too. Collapse. Read that.
Collapse is often
Oh
quick.
no. I'm sorry. No, scroll down. It should say collapse can be defined.
Control F, collapse can be defined.
I don't know why they hate that button.
Can't
They
be,
gonna
there
have
we
it
go.
down next.
There you go.
Collapse can be defined as a rapid and enduring loss of population.
It says what?
Collapse can be defined as a rapid and enduring loss of population.
How are they doing that now?
Through the-
We'll
Yeah.
deep dive next week. But go ahead.
Well, two ways: abortions and through these viruses that are coming up.
That's it. Abortions, homosexuality, pestilence, all of that. Go ahead.
Loss of population, identity, and socioeconomic economic complexity.
Socioeconomic complexity, all the welfare, all that. Stimulus checks, stimmies. Go ahead.
Public services crumble and disorder ensues as government loses control of its monopoly. Loses control of its monopoly on violence.
As the government starts to lose control, what do? Population control. We got to get rid of all these people. We losing control.
And we seen a small glimpse of that a couple of years ago with the Black Lives Matter riots and everything else that was going on. Small.
It's going to be more of that.
Then they say public services crumble, similar to what's going on right now in Jackson. They're like, yo, this y'all should be cleaning this water. What y'all mean y'all can't have just water being cleaned in our area? Like stuff like that is like Caps is common.
Yep. Matthew chapter 24. Hold up. Did you read all that? Yeah, you read that part. Okay. Matthew chapter 24.
So that disorder going into that insurrection in
Great
January the 6th,
insurrections. Yes, sir. We're going to read that in a minute, if I got time. Read verse 6.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled.
Don't be troubled by hearing wars or rumors of wars. Go ahead.
For all these things must come to pass.
They have to come to pass in order for you to be saved. Go ahead.
But the end is not yet.
But even amongst those wars and rumors of wars, guess what? War will come to America. There will be war. Christ said wars and rumors of wars, not just rumors of wars. There will be wars here in America. Go ahead.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
It says famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. I'm trying to see where I'm going to go without opening up a whole can of worms. Go to 2 Ezra chapter 11. I'm going to just skip around in my notes. 2 Ezra chapter 11, verse 39.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 11 and verse 39.
So everything that we just read is summed up in this verse right here.
Art not thou that remainest of the four beasts?
Let's read it slow.
Yes, sir. Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts?
Remainest of the four beasts, America, you remain of the four beasts. Go ahead.
Whom I made to reign in my world.
Whom I gave power to reign in this world. Go ahead.
That the end of their times might come through them.
Explain that. That the end of their times might come through them. The decline of America, they're bringing upon themselves.
Oh, wicked.
Read that again.
Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them?
That they might destroy themselves. That they might destroy themselves. The age of decline, the age of decadence, which is going to lead to the destruction of the fourth beast.
Finish him.
The destruction of the so-called white man. The destruction of the 10 toes, the EU, the European Union, all the European nations. Those are the 10 toes. Those are the 10 toes. The 10 common markets, EU, that's Daniel 2.
And the
I'm trying to, I'll leave that alone. All right. Y'all got anything?
No, sir. No. No.
Go to Second Ezra's, hold up. Chapter 16. I got us. Trying to make it make sense in my head because I'm skipping around.
Verse 19.
Nah, I'm gonna try to go to something a little bit. Go to Revelations. Go to Revelation chapter. Revelation chapter. Somebody say something. I'll find it.
Yeah, so this is, hey, for everybody that's watching, pay attention. Pay attention. This is the reason for that segment called Watch and Pray, because what's happening is the understanding of what's happening in the earth and what to expect to come is being brought forth now. It's being shown to the prophets. So do not despise the information that's coming out. Y'all should be actively and desperately writing these precepts in your Bible so that when you go back to read these things, you can then begin to tie them together so that you understand what's happening. It's not here just, just for us. This is for everybody.
Please say that again. Write this stuff in your Bible.
Write it in your Bible.
It does no good if it's in your notes at the crib somewhere.
Right.
Write it in your Bible. That way you have something to reference back to. Now, go back to the other article. I'll just do this. I'll just go back. I'll just stick with the articles. I can't go through nothing else because I don't got time.
Okay.
Scroll back. I'll go all the way back up to the top. I want the part where it talked about all the different kings. Stop. Didn't that happen?
Didn't that happen to other great empires in the past?
Actually, read clearly.
Didn't that happen to
Clearly.
Oh, clearly.
You thought he was talking about read clearly because
Hey,
threw you off a little bit.
Yeah, my bad.
mad
my
at them
bad.
brothers, right?
First paragraph.
Clearly, America's present lone superpower status is being increasingly challenged. Could it be lost completely? While it clings to a general preeminence right now, could America still decline and fall?
Yes.
Didn't that happen to other great empires in the past, such as those of Britain, Spain, Rome, Persia, Babylon, and Egypt? Is America's future more secure than theirs was?
No, absolutely not. No. Absolutely not. Revelation chapter 13, verse 2.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 2. And the beast which
is America.
Which I saw was like unto a leopard,
Uh-huh.
and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his
The
seat.
dragon is Satan. Why? Because America is run by Satan's seed, the seed of the serpent in Genesis 2. Genesis 3, Genesis 2, Genesis 3. America is run by Satan's seed. Go ahead. Read that. I'm gonna read that again.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And
The leopard being the Greeks, it says, and like
a bear?
feet is a bear. The bear is
Persia.
Persia, thank you. Mouth is the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Go ahead.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death,
The Romans were defeated, conquered in 193 AD,
and his deadly wound was healed.
and they came back in the Renaissance. So this kingdom that was a lone superpower, Rome, they fell, they were conquered, 193 AD. It says, and their deadly wound was healed, and they came back. Go ahead.
And all the world wondered after the beast.
And all the world wondered after the beast. So Rome came back in power, and they came back during the rebirth. They came the Renaissance, which means rebirth. So there's nothing new under the sun. Just like Persia, just like Britain, just like Spain, just like Rome, just like Persia, just like Babylon and Egypt, the Bible compares this country, the fourth beast, to all those nations in times past. What happened to all those nations in time past? What happened to all those kingdoms in time past? They all fell. All of them.
That's right.
This one is going to be the worst.
Right.
This kingdom is going to be the worst by far.
Right.
How do we know it's going to be the worst? Because guess what? Britain is still here. Spain is still here. Rome is still here. Persia is still here. Babylon and Egypt, they all still here. But there's something about America. Man, something about this fourth beast. Revelation chapter 18. Something about this fourth beast. Read verse 21.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be
Shall that great city what?
Babylon
Babylon, a.k.a. America,
USA.
the fourth beast, spiritual Egypt, the great US of A, go ahead,
be thrown down,
shall be thrown down. Go ahead.
and shall be found no more at all.
And will not come back. They're not there ain't gonna be no renaissance, there ain't gonna be no rebirth.
That's right.
None of that. Nope.
That's right.
Y'all will be thrown down and you will be found no more at all. Right. Lord's will, the next show, when I got a full 2 hours, we're going to continue with the actual decline.
All praise.
We're going to see the timeline of the decline of an empire.
All praise.
We just skipped ahead to the end. But we're going to see the midst thereof.
You know, them Christians right now, they like, oh, thank God them brothers, they wasn't talking directly.
Right.
Oh, y'all should be scared, man.
Hey, so we already then have a title for next week. What the Christian church isn't telling us about these days, the decline of a kingdom.
Yep. We're going to read about the decline. The decline. All right. All right, somebody read that.
Yeah. You can follow us on social media. Facebook at In the Scripts Reloaded. YouTube at In the Scripts Reloaded. Instagram, Dallas IUIC. Twitter at IUIC Dallas. TikTok at IUIC Dallas. And if you would like to donate for our book club that we're building so that we can keep bringing out historical information to make this information relevant for today through history, then please donate to our PayPal, which is iuic.dallas@israelunite.org. That is our PayPal email.
All right, so Lord's will, we'll be back. I'm pretty sure we're going to be back next week. I don't think nothing coming up. All right, and we're going to continue on with the decline of America, the decline of an empire, the decline of the fourth beast. All right, Lord's will, we'll see y'all back here next week. Y'all are tuned in to In the Scripts.
Reloaded.
Reloaded. Yeah, it's going down. Yeah, it's going down. Just wait for the crown. Judah is bold as a lion. Hey, drop me off in Mount Zion. Hey, teleport to pass the time. Hey, the Israelites, we about to shine. Babylon, burn to the ground. Listen up for them trumpet to sign.